Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote into the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. You can use other people's emotes if you want, or you can choose to remain silent because you have that right. Jam is here. Welcome, Jam. Yeah, if you don't want to chat, y'all don't have to chat. It's nice if you want to chat. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. But, I'm not making you. Lashbrook is here. Welcome, Lashbrook. Happy to have you here. As always, my friend. Ristafan is here. Hello, Ristafan. Tonight's agenda is working on the AE86 from Initial D. Will it look exactly like the photo that we've had? No, it won't look like that photo. It really won't. But it's going to look great. And we're going to be like, dang, this looks good. Like, we're going to like appreciate how good it looks. And we're gonna like really enjoy everything about it. We will get the two-toneness. It won't be a perfect two-tone because we're gonna do the roof or the hood, I should say, and a few other places that we can do black instead of white. We get the option. Um, I realized after I put this together, I could have done two bucket seats instead of the traditional seats. You can see here. But I like the idea that just the driver's seat was replaced, although I could do both. But I like that idea. There's Taco sitting there getting ready to drive. But yeah, this is the progress we've made on this kit. I'm looking forward to continuing to work on it. We're going to be working on the headlamps, and then we'll put the oh yeah, we got the fender here. We're going to do some of the trim, and of course. I'll say this as we go. I'm not painting this kit, so there's going to be some stuff on here that you look and you go, "Well, look at that photo." Like, oh, you'd have to mask that. Like, you'd have to really, really be good at painting to do this, which I am not, and I'm not even going to attempt to paint. But we will do decals, and we will. We also like I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking I might panel line this. Like, it's pure white. Why wouldn't I put some gray marker on this? It's plastic. That might look pretty dang neat to put some markers on this. It might spruce it up a little bit. So I'm thinking about it. I haven't made a full decision on that, but I am thinking about doing a little panel lining. And I think that might actually really look fucking good. Like some gray on this might look pretty damn rad. So that's the thing to think about. I wouldn't do interior. Like I'm not gonna like make all this look black. I think, but the exterior I might get a little fancy with it. See what happens. Um, Obviously that would be the end of the build because I don't want to apply decals to anywhere that's been panel lined probably, and I definitely don't want to worry about marker and liquid cement together because I don't even know how that reaction works. I assume it just smudges things and maybe produces a smell. Who knows? Anyway, we got a great crew tonight. I'm very happy to see everybody here in chat. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to retweet my tweet, and then we're going to get into the building portion. Yeah, headlights, fenders, and more. I guess bumpers and not fenders, but whatever. We're going to put born removable bumpers too. Reminder, I don't know a lot about cars. So if you ever hear me say things like, oh, this next part, that's me not knowing what I should be saying in that moment. And it's fine. But we're going to work on the headlights and the headlamps um, in a moment here. So we'll get that going. We're going to put this there. We are going to go with black for this because we are going to have we want the headlamps to match the hood of the car, which we are going to do black. As you can see in the photo below here, that this photo chose to go with the white, which we are not going to mirror. But also, this one was painted. So I also appreciate that they have license plates that are just the Initial D logo. That is just a little bit of business that I really enjoy I'm pro that. Um, Especially because our fenders front bumpers here are white, which there is not the black equivalent. I wish there was. There isn't. So we're not going to get. Some of this isn't going to look exactly how we would like it to look, but it's going to look good, and I'm going to be happy with it. How's everybody doing out there tonight? How are we feeling here on the old internet? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm doing all right. I had a not too busy of a Saturday. I had time to work on some things, which was good. I had a writing assignment that I completed. I felt good about that. No D&D today. We are still in the process, I believe I mentioned this on Thursday, still in the process of like fucking figuring shit out about when we are going to like meet and if we are going to change times. But we were already not planning on doing today, so that is fine. This is the hood that we'll be using here, which will be great. And then I need, so that's these two parts here are 52 and 53. So we'll separate that. I want to make sure I'm separating these pieces correctly. So those go there, those go there. And then we need one of these is 56 and one of these is 57. 50 or 55, 56. So that's 55. And then the hope is that as I'm getting these pieces together, I'm going to assemble them correctly. I mean, that's always the hope with the model kit, is that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing right, and we'll hope that's good. But yeah, let me know in chat how you all are feeling. If you had a good Saturday, had a good weekend, if your weekend doesn't start until today, or you had yesterday off, or whatever. What's up with y'all? Like I said, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty relaxed Saturday. Did get some stuff done that I was looking to get done, which is good. Get a little yard work done. Didn't watch all the anime I was planning to watch. I was planning to watch 2 shows today. Only watched one. I watched Faraway Paladin, which we'll talk about tonight. Didn't watch episode 3 of season 2 of Let's Make a Mug 2. Either the animated or the live action. I watched neither. I did have plans to do that today, so I'll cover that on Monday. Speaking of Monday, y'all, Monday, important to note, programming note, no matter where we are in this project, we are pausing because it's pumpkin carving time. The 18th, Monday the 18th, I will be pumpkin carving, and I am fucking looking forward to that shit. I've had this pumpkin for a little while, and I have been waiting to have the time to get at it. And so we are carving this pumpkin. It's going to turn out rad as hell. I'm going to be so psyched about it. New for Pat Bear's pumpkin carving stream. A new thing this year. I am going to try, for the first time ever in my life, I'm going to try stenciling and using a stencil to carve something that actually looks good, and instead of just a goofy looking face, which is the best I can always do. So the goal is to actually make something that appears to be something that you would recognize. I have 2 templates that I have not printed out yet. I'm going to print out both of them tomorrow and see how they look on the pumpkin and make my decision before the stream starts on Monday. But as of right now, don't know what I'm going to go with. They're both nerdy things, and I think they both look cool. So look forward to it. But as of this very moment, I do not have a definitive idea of what I'm going to be carving on Monday. I also could just abandon it and just do a freehand whatever design. But I do want to try a stencil because I've never done that on a jack-o'-lantern. Aristofan says, weekend for me, ran some errands, played some games, hell yeah. Other family coming over tomorrow, so prepping for that. Good. That is nice to hear. And Dirty's here, hello Dirty, saying, went over to visit folks today and got some ribs, beans, and sauteed sprouts. For a second there, I thought you said ribs beans, and I was like, what are rib beans? But you ribs, beans, sauteed sprouts, which is good. It would have been a great day if I had known there was an event at the college nearby, so I could have skipped my regular exit, 19 minutes to make a 2-minute drive. Oh, yeah. Uh, I would say, especially for people that are like not like just getting into the habit again of going out, like we have to relearn a lot of the stuff that we had already felt like we knew, vis-a-vis like what it means to like be out and about and like traffic on the weekends and like other people going to places. Obviously, there are people that year since April of last year were just doing whatever the fuck. But yeah, it certainly business is picking up. Certainly. Okay, so we're going to use an important thing is that when we apply this piece here, uh, that we don't glue it in because it needs to be able to move around. So there's a piece that we need to set here, but not worry about lifting it up. But then there's another piece that we do have to set over it. So this piece has to hang and be able to move around, but then this other piece needs to get glued into place. Uh, so, so this is going to be, for me, a little delicate, and I will do my damnedest to figure this out. So we're going to put that on there, and that's going to lock in place. So I'm going to look at this, make sure it's doing what I want it to do, and then I will remove a piece and then apply liquid cement to it. Google Maps for every trip, even if I know where I'm going. Yeah, killer. That is certainly not a bad idea. And also, use the technology to your advantage, right? Like it's sometimes really nice to be able to say like, okay, what's the traffic like? What's the road construction like where I'm going? Like, oh, I know that place by heart, but maybe there's some bullshit out there that I don't know about, and now I get some information about it. I think that's totally reasonable. All right, so I'm going to be applying a little bit of liquid cement here on both these parts. If I fuck up these lamps and they either have to be open all the time or closed all the time and not uh, be maneuverable, that would be a shame. But I'll deal with it if that is what ends up happening. But hopefully, I will do this correctly. All right, and then we're just going to put some pressure on here so that the piece that I am applying the liquid cement to has a chance to adhere to both sections. And then we will be doing the same thing on the inverse side here. Basically doing exactly what we just did, but the other way around. Slowly work on this. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. And then we'll build up around it. But yeah, I don't. I'll be honest, folks. I don't get out as much as I used to these days. I was definitely traveling a bunch. Part of it is that I can't go anywhere here on foot. There is little to no public transportation, so I am at the mercy of rides, and that is not always exactly what I want to be doing. And you can only ask for so many favors. Um, but when allowed, or when it is easy, I do get out of the house. I do try to get out of the house when applicable, because it's just good for my own mental state to get out of this house. Um, Even if it is just like going for a walk. Like sometimes going for that walk is exactly what I need to be doing with my life, and it is very beneficial. But yeah, if it's like, oh, we're gonna go pick something up, or I'm going to the grocery store, it's like, all right, I'm going too. Hooray! I have the time. Let me out of this house for just like a minute. Um, Killer says, I have two model cars grandparents gave me 25-ish years ago. I never made. I always debate putting them together just to know how they're done. Yeah, so the only glue kits I've ever built using liquid cement on these kits here. These are the only ones I've ever built. Are all from Initial D. Because car kits are just a thing that I never had any real interest in doing. There are tank kits that are out there. There's a bunch of stuff that like I'm sure I'd be interested in. I think I got very used to working on kits, that are snap kits. Like snap kits, like I'm very comfortable working on them. I like how they look. I like how they come together. I feel comfortable putting them together. Uh, you can fix mistakes most of the time, but also, hey, I'm learning. The biggest mistakes in these kind of kits are you didn't put enough pressure on the liquid cement and it came apart and you got to do it again. Outside of the practical experience that I will tell you that you got to make sure your hands are really clean when you're working with liquid cement and clear plastic like these parts here, because you don't want your fingerprints to be burned into the plastic like very noticeably. Like that's like a thing I learned, and I'm like, okay, I feel better about these like opaque pieces of plastic here. I'm going to be a little less worried about when I go to attach this here. But I learned like from just doing it. I'm like, okay, I feel a little better about working with this. Like the worst case scenario, as I said, oh, I have to redo this because it didn't hold like I thought it would. Sure, that's fine. Um, Also, the first time I did this, there was no English instructions, and so it didn't occur to me that I had to scrape or rub the parts that have been chromed, the pieces that have been chromed, like you see here, that are liquid cement is going to touch. You got to buff that out. And that just never occurred to me. That was not a thing that I would have ever thought of. And so this time around, I know that, and that has been helpful. All right, so we're just gonna take this here, put a little bit on there, and then apply that there, and we'll let that sit for a second. Jam says they make other glues for clear parts, kind of like a white glue but stronger. Ooh, and of course they do, Jam. Of course they make clear uh, glue that is better for clear. And if these were things that I would be building constantly, that would be something I would certainly get. Like that like is something I didn't know, but also makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh yeah, of course they do that. Like yeah, they should be. They should make that. Mossberg says, we had a big cold front, so it was like the 50s for the first time this morning, which was nice in the ongoing saga of my copy of Metroid Dread. Yes, our good friend here, Lashbrook, pre-ordered, like a physical copy of Metroid Dread and has just not been able to get that. The mail has been real fun for our friend. So let's get an update from Lashbrook on that. In the ongoing saga of my copy of Metroid Dread, I figured out the delivery address didn't have my apartment number. But since my complex front office isn't accepting packages due to COVID, I have no idea where they thought they delivered to. I have a ticket in with the counter or courier company now. That's so goddamn frustrating because this is a thing where it's like, you didn't fuck up. Hey, look, sometimes you fucked up. But like in this case, you're like, no, I did this right, and things are just conspiring against me. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't write it down right, but I have the feeling that you did. And now you're just. But you've tracked down this at least. At least you're at this point where you're like, okay, well, I can tell you that, like, the number wasn't on the thing, so it wouldn't go to your box or whatever, and would be stuck there, and they would say no, but where would it go? Like, yeah, that's you don't have answers yet, but like maybe you're narrowing it down. Maybe you can like figure this shit out. So good luck to you, Lashbrook. Also, being in the 50s, that sounds great. We cooled off here a little bit. Like tomorrow's going to be a little cooler than it's been, which I'm excited about. And then it may get warmer again, which I'm not against. I don't like the idea that it's going to get warmer because I want to put my jack-o'-lantern out and I don't want it to rot. So if it would get cooler, that would be good for me. But also I can understand people being like psyched about it being better weather. So I'm not going to be like, or nicer weather, but I want to wear a hoodie. There's no hoodie weather here. It's barely in the early morning, like long pants weather. So if it could be hoodie weather, that would be pretty great. I'd be pretty psyched about that. I don't think we're getting that though around here. All right, let's get the headlamps and headlights here. We're going to apply some pressure. We don't want to apply too much pressure because we don't want to bend anything, but we do want to apply even pressure so that this doesn't fall apart, so I can actually do the gimmick of raising them. It would be great if I could do the gimmick of raising them. I don't know if I'm gonna nail it, but I'm gonna try. Lasberg says, honestly, no clue. The GameStop order page doesn't have the address and the apartment number either. So either I didn't put it in or GameStop didn't record it, which both those things could be true. But like, how do you not fail the delivery attempt in that case? Yeah, if you don't have an apartment number and you're delivering it to an apartment, you would go, we can't deliver this. And you would like work on another way. Killer says, oh no, I just went in my basement for those super old models. They are mostly just gray plastic and require painting. Maybe 20 years from now, I'll be ready for that. Yeah, I mean, look, this kit wants paint. If I was going to try to make this kit look like the photo, it would require paint. This kit is not getting paint because that is not like what I'm about here. Like I said, it's probably getting panel lines. It's definitely going to get water slide decals because I want to get better at water slide decals. It's been a hot minute since I applied any of those, so it's going to get that. But this kit does want paint, and it's not getting them. If you ever see, because I forgot, we did do a liquid cement kit not too long ago. We did the Star Trek kit. Or no, that was a Snap kit. That's right. The Star Trek kits, the Polar Lights kits, are weird because they are Snap kits, but they require paint. So they are somewhere in between, like, and weird. And when we did the Deep Space Nine kit, it looked great, the Defiant, but I just panel lined it, and I think it looks neat, but it's not the right colors, and that's fine. But you know, I do wish it was show accurate. I can paint D&D miniatures, but I don't know that those paints translate. Also, Killer, I don't know either. As I have, it's been a very long time since I did any sort of painting. I once got conscripted to help with some people that were doing a Warhammer campaign, and they needed to get an army done. So I was doing a lot of like base coat for them because I couldn't do fine detail, but I could paint a thing green or blue. Like, hey, make all of this blue. Sure. Hey, can you clean this up? Yes. Like, that was my big, like, I'll do what I can. Which all this time later, I now know what the Defiant is. Lasberg watching Deep Space Nine now finally has an understanding of what I was into and what I was doing when vis-a-vis the building the Defiant. Okay, so I already removed this earlier, cleaned this up. I am going to I'm going to give these more time to dry before I put them in here, because I am going to have to glue them in place. So I'm going to give these a little more time to dry and cure. Cure is the right term. And so we'll do the windshield wipers now, which are 19 and 18. So let me find that here. Okay. I've got some little pegs to get off these. These are very, very delicate, very thin. So we're going to be super careful with these because I don't want to have to adhere them together. Oh boy. Oh boy. Real nice and easy. Try to remove these. Okay. That was 19, which is this one. So it's going to go on this peg here. Great. And of course, we got to remember to remove the nubbins. I remember doing this car, the last time I did a car like this, I had to redo these like multiple times, and eventually I just overdid it. And that's where I got some liquid cement on the plastic and was very annoyed with myself. This is 19. So we're just going to get both these out, and then we'll make sure it looks good. And then we need 18. All right, that was 19. Where's 18? 18 is this one here. Great. Once again, I'm going to try to be very careful removing this. But yeah, let's see. Other things going on. There was a... I never recommend going and finding some... When I talk about things that happen on the internet, and specifically Twitter, when I talk about like a Twitter thing that happens, I never recommend that people go and find out the context of what I'm talking about, because it's never going to be good. You're never going to be like, oh, yeah, I checked out that thread you were talking about that was like, and like, yeah, now I have a better understanding of what's going on. Because it's never like, hey, here's a nuanced take that I really like, think is great, and you should check out. Like that's never, unfortunately, what it is. Most of the time, it's just like, hey, somebody wrote a nonsense thing and got dunked on for it, and I'm not here to dunk further, but I am like flabbergasted. Like that's generally my feeling, and that is the case right now. Here is this thing that somebody wrote a real long Twitter thread about speedrunning community and its left leanings and the like projecting like the safe sexuality of Mario, and it was just like, if you only read the first one, and it was like one of 14, right? So it was like a long thread, right? And it said one of 14. If you just read the very first thing, it's also this whole idea of like speed running as like getting like somehow trying to equate speed running with communism, and just like getting through it, and just like a bunch of just it was a word salad. It was like ideology salad, like a clearly a no understanding of anything, including just any sort of nuanced understanding of anything that this person was talking about. There's just like a lot of dumb shit. But it was interesting because you just look at the first tweet. It appears to be satire. It reads like it should end with someone saying, "In this essay, I will." Just the idea that like one, a lack of understanding of communism, for sure, and two, a complete misunderstanding of the speedrunning community, and three, fatally misunderstanding that hey, you know what? There are conservative speedrunners. It is not a community that is particularly left leaning, because all you have to do is put in GDQ into YouTube, and you'll get a lot of videos of GDQ videos. But all of the talking head videos that you'll get recommended are people like, I can't believe the list of people banned from GDQ this year. And it's just people mad that folks that are racist and awful in the speedrunning community don't get to do GDQ. So it's not like it's this bastion. Like, sure, there are awesome people in that community, for sure. There is an active trans speedrunning community that fucking kicks ass. There are plenty of people who are very left-leaning in that community. But to think of it as just like, I need to understand why the left is so drawn to speedrunning is just like, nah, this was a thought exercise that you didn't need to make, and it is very funny. But it is like this thing where you're like, oh, I misinterpreted your bad satire. I thought you were doing bad satire instead, or sorry, I thought you were doing boring satire, and instead you were just a dumbass. But again, real point being, I don't recommend that you spend any of your time or energy looking up what I'm talking about. I think you are perfectly fine just being like, hey, a thing happened on the internet. Okay. Like, context is important. We talked about that in the case of the "you smell like weed, I am weed" thing. We learned what that context was. And did we need to know what that context was? Abso-fucking-lutely not. There's no world in which you need to know that that's how Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox met, was with that conversation. But it does help in the context of all of the memes that came out. Like, and so sometimes it's good to know the origins of dumb things on the internet, so that you're not feeling like you are out of the loop. But also, sometimes you are out of the loop, and when you get back in the loop, you're like, oh, that was not worth my time or energy. That sucks. Wish I didn't know that thing that I almost didn't know. All right, I'm going to try to... This is not going in as smoothly as I think it should be. So I am a little frustrated here trying to get this. Yeah. I want this gimmick to work, but for it to work, I have to get the pegs in right, and I'm not getting the pegs in right. You know what I mean? I want this to slot in here so that you can push up and yeah, like this, so that they'll go up and go down. But to do that, I have to get this to just sit right on this in here, and it's not. And then I'm like, well, am I doing this correctly? Maybe I need to, or I do that part. I'm just going to take this out here. I'm not ready to attach this. That's the next. That's actually a later step here because I got to get the bumper right. But I can make sure all this lines up correctly. So I'm going to do that now. But yeah, context sometimes is important. Because sometimes you're like, I don't know what's happening right now. And then you can like look something up, and then you can go, oh, I get that. Like, I have in the past been known to tweet, for anyone looking at this hashtag, Giant Bomb is a website that talks about that covers video games. And blank is happening because sometimes Giant Bomb, like if somebody from Giant Bomb leaves or multiple people leave, then Giant Bomb becomes a trending topic. And people see that, and the top responses or the newest responses are often other people going, what is Giant Bomb? What does this mean? What's happening? Because they don't know what's going on, and they are very confused why this is even a thing. So it often is helpful. And I've gotten a bunch of people who are not following me reply saying thank you for explaining it. Because I understand why you wouldn't want to just see that. Like how everyone keeps saying it's a Bones Day. Yeah, I don't know what that means. So if I saw that, I would be like, "Hey, what the fuck does that mean? Is this a reference to a TV show that I don't know?" Like I said, the I am weed. I'm like, "Is this a Squid Game thing?" Because like I don't know what that like I haven't watched it yet. So like maybe it is and I don't know. All right, I don't think here's the deal. I don't think I'm going to get these in right, so we're going to wait on it and I'm going to attach these. I'm going to try to line this up right here because I think this is the right, yeah, this is how it's going to go. I might end up having to put these lights in later, but we're going to try to get them in now. It's a big TikTok. Okay, great. There's a 13-year-old pug that the stand up in the morning when he's there. It's Bones Day, and if he falls back down, no Bones Day. So there you go. I didn't know what that means. And there's somebody talking about that on my Twitter feed. I know because I did see that and I went, "Is that a Halloween thing?" I assume that's a Halloween thing. But like, yeah, I don't go on TikTok that often, so that is not a thing that I have had like a lot of like any conversations on TikTok about. Like that's not a thing that I'm like, "Oh yeah, that thing from TikTok." All right, I think I'm getting this in correctly. If these don't look good, like really, if these don't pop up, that's fine. I mostly just want them on because it would look really weird if this car did not have uh, headlamps at all, even if they don't swing up properly. I'd rather just have them in at all. So we'll just get them in. Get them in here. I don't know if there's a trick for this, but I'm not. If there is a trick to this, I'm not getting it. These don't really want to go in right. I'm kind of fucking it up, but that's okay. Yeah, like sometimes I think like, oh, I know what this is about, and then other times I'm like, I have no idea what's happening and why people are freaking out about a thing. Uh, Often, everyone will say just the last name of someone who is an athlete, and they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, this thing happened," and I'll have to use context clues to figure out what sport is currently the thing that people are excited about, and then be like, "Oh okay, well according to context clues, that's a Major League Baseball player, and I know that this game is happening, so that player is either from this team or that team, or like, well, I don't know who that is, but like we're in the playoffs, so they must be a team on this team." And I'll just use context clues as best as I can to figure out what's going on about the thing that I don't know enough about, but I know plenty of people who are really into it, and I'll just hope that I'm not fucking up when the time comes. All right, let's get just more liquid cement on here. Just gonna overdo it on the liquid cement on this part. Taking way too long. Hey, Lord Crashington, happy to have you here. I think the headlight flip up gimmick breaks most of the time on the real car version anyway. Just go with realism. See, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, I don't need them to really flip up, but I do need them to stay in place and not fall off because I feel like once I get the front fender on, it's going to be real hard to get these back on in that context. Ooh, and that piece came off too. Great. I'm having a fucking great time with these. Anyway, I'll get them like set sort of, and then I'll like figure it out later. We'll just like place this here. All right, let's move on to the front fender because I know I can get that at least close to right. And we got to do stuff on the other parts on here, but hopefully this will set, and then when I put it all together, it'll look fucking great. Um, And okay, we want that one. With that one. All right, yeah, we got to get the front fender here, and we'll get some work done on that. Which is 57. Yeah, the front. Here we go. Yeah, other things I want to talk about. I don't know if I had anything else I want to talk about. And we'll talk about anime and manga in the second hour. I watched, let's have one show, and then I read a couple things. I've been, trying a few things out, trying to find stuff. I will say, I've been in a weird mood where, like, one, I don't think this season is that good overall for anime. I think the fall season is not that great. I think some stuff that I was interested in did get pushed, and that's part of it. But I also think it might be me, and I might just be like less into things right now, which is totally possible. Um, but yeah, I just haven't been necessarily motivated. But that also could be, yeah, it could be any number of things. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. I want to be engaged with stuff and psyched about things, but I'm not as much right now. But I've been reading a lot and I've been enjoying that. So, of course, I'll keep talking about the things that I've been reading. All right, so we got to put the license plate on here. We're going to do that now. License plate on. Get here. Just kind of give a nice little line here. And we'll get this on. Oops. Got a little straggler to get on there. But yeah, last night went out for dinner, which was fun. Went to my parents' friends. I posted a photo today of their tiny bathroom. Their first floor, they added a bathroom, and it's like it's a half bath, so it doesn't have bathtub or anything. It's just the toilet and the sink. But it's used to be a closet under and it's under the stairs leading to the second floor. So it's where the toilet is. The ceiling goes like it's just like here's the toilet, and then it's just like this. And I'm 5'10" and a half, 5'11", and it was very funny for me to just be like really hunched down and just like contorting my body to get in there. And I literally couldn't take a selfie in there. I just took a photo. I was going to try to take a selfie to show how small it was. And it was just like, nope, this is not going to work out. It was very tiny, but it was, I was happy to be invited. It was nice to see people and have a good time, and have dinner. They're lovely folks. But it was just being like, I forgot how tiny this little room is. um, a powder room, indeed. Uh, it's been a couple of years for everyone. I definitely lost motivation on a lot of things. Yeah, killer. I think that like some of it is just that like I think the anime season this time around just isn't there are a couple shows I'm very excited about, and then at least one of them, like the second episode of Banished from the Heroes Party, like the animation quality took a huge dip, and I was like, ooh, I hope this is a one-off. And it wasn't just they spent all their money on their first episode and they're now like gonna struggle, because like, oof, that's gonna be rough. But I still like the story a lot, so we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff I was like, I've watched like a lot of like one episode of a thing, and I don't know if I'll go back to it. And like, it usually on a Thursday stream, I will have watched stuff on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Right now, I have a couple shows that I want to watch on Wednesdays. I have nothing on Tuesday and nothing on Thursday, and I'm like, that's weird for me to just like not have a lot of shows that I want to talk about. It's just odd. But yeah, anyway, powder room is another name for the half bath. Basically, when you have a bathroom that does not have a shower or bathtub and is just a toilet and a sink, there's often called a half bath, and this was a tiny little half bath. And then also the Harry Potter pooper. Yes, the little room. All right, so let's get. So that's gonna go down there. Yeah. All right, let's get all our reflective lights and all of that on. We just want to we're just going to put a little bit of liquid cement in here, and then a little bit in here. Let it start to activate a little bit, and then place our reflective plastic here. And we'll just put some pressure on it, let it sit. But yeah, I think a larger thing is just like, sometimes we do get sick of things in general. Like, I always, a friend of mine used to just be like, hey, whatever happened with that show? And would ask me about like an anime, and I'd be like, oh, I stopped watching. And they're like, what? Didn't you watch like a bunch of episodes? And I'd be like, yeah. Sometimes you're just done. Like, watching 8 episodes doesn't mean I have to watch the 9 through 12. Sometimes 8 episodes is just like, yeah, that's enough. I don't need to watch that anymore. It's okay. I made this point on Twitter the other day that a cool thing about the year 2000, the 2020s for anime fans is that for the cost of one 90s VHS tape, you get monthly, a month, you get all of the anime. Because for that same price of a very expensive VHS tape with 3 to 4 episodes of a show, you get Crunchyroll subscription, Funimation subscription, and Netflix. And you just get all of the anime. And it's, especially if you do a Verve account instead of Crunchyroll, you get, with Verve, you get Crunchyroll and High Dive, so you just get everything. And especially if you don't want to pay for those and you just want ads, you don't mind ads, then you get all of it instead of, hopefully, John saying deja vu. But yeah, but that is like a thing that I love. Is just like, yeah, you can just watch all the anime. So if you're watching something and you think, you know what, honestly, I don't think this is good, then just stop watching it and watch something else. You don't feel like you have to. You don't have to watch. High Dive was removed. 930 says dirty. I did not know that. I have not watched anything on High Dive in a while. I didn't realize that Verve took High Dive off. That makes sense in the context of Sony buying Crunchyroll. It makes sense. So I apologize. If there's a couple things on High Dive, you don't get that for free. You gotta get a High Dive subscription or watch ads or whatever. So I apologize. If you want to watch the How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon OVAs, or that one anime that your one friend really likes and you're like, that seems fucking gross, dude. Most recently, that was the like 12-year-old boy who becomes the den mother for a bunch of college girls. That was that anime that was like, I was like, of course that's on High Dive. And also, sometimes High Dive gets like really good shit, but they get some weird, cool shit. Most of the time, it's like, okay, whatever. I did not realize that was the case. Lord Crashton says, been playing some of that new update in Power Wash Simulator. The bathroom was a very tedious job since it's just a mirrored room. Yeah, I haven't finished that one. I'm not enjoying it right now, but I have not finished it. Dirty. I'm not gonna kink shame. People can like the weird shit they like, but you know, hey, you might be that friend, and if you're that friend, cool. Enjoy the stuff you like. But High Dive always has that anime that you're just like, who watches this? And then you're like, wait, I know the person that watches this. I have a friend that is psyched about this particular series. All right, what do I got to put on here? I got to find 134 and 131. 134 and 131. These are 134s. Did you ever use activator spray to speed up the glue? So I haven't on a kit like this. I might using the spray to kind of speed up the process might be great for folks out there. It might be something I look into. If I was going to be somebody that did these kind of kits more consistently, like if I had like a backlog of this particular style kit, then that would be something that I would certainly look into. For me anyway, it being quicker is maybe a bad thing because I'm constantly afraid that I'm fucking something up. And so maybe I want it to take a little while longer to cure. But I do think that is a viable option for people. Uh, no, so I need 131. Okay, so that's here. Yes. All right. But when it comes to I mean, look, in general, I'm still an amateur about everything I do when it comes to model kits. But for this type of kit, I am certainly an amateur. And I am most of the time just trying my fucking best. But yeah, I learn constantly while doing this, which I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm learning techniques and skills. But yeah, the activator certainly can be helpful. All right, so let's get these set in first, and then we'll oops, over. We'll do these first, and then we'll worry about getting them attached to our front fender. Let's get actually. I'll apply this a little better here. Yeah, that'll be good. In a couple minutes, we'll take a pause for the calls. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel, as I always do. And then in the second hour, anime and manga talk, which is also a thing that happens pretty consistently around here. And, you know, just general hanging out and seeing what you're all up to. And a reminder that on Monday, please come hang out for my Pokemon carving stream. And next Wednesday will be very fun, and I think you will enjoy. We'll do a test fit here. Next Wednesday's stream will be playing Jackbox. The new Jackbox Party Pack has come out. It came out, I believe, on Thursday, and so we will be playing that on stream, and I think that's going to be real fun. So check that out on Wednesday. I have heard good things about several of the games, and then we will Jackbox hype indeed, and then we'll have the debate, because apparently, I don't know if it's for individual games or in general, apparently this game in the accessibility has removing timers, and we might want to try that out. That sounds like it might be pretty great. It could be that, you know, it would be an issue because if someone gets disconnected or whatever, it might be a better issue in person to remove timers than playing a game with an audience watching. But just the idea of that, I was like, ooh, that's a cool thing. That is a cool thing that is happening. So we're gonna look through the options. So I think each release they've gotten better and better with making things easier for people to play. So I have to go through. I haven't. I just haven't gone through all the options right now. Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks all right. I think that lined up okay. I haven't had an issue with long timers, but glad to see they added the option for no timers. Yeah, I think that's a long overdue feature that people have been asking for. I mean, there's a bunch of features that people have been asking for a long time, and I think that is certainly one of them. All right, let's let this cure. Let's let all this dry before we attach it to the car. This we want to leave up because we're not gonna glue it on, which is fine. I'm happy with that. Let's do the these edge lights here, and then we'll do like trim around the windows, putting the chrome in and the rear view mirrors, or the side mirrors, I should say. But let's like do that so that we can put these two pieces on and do the front. And I'll feel like a good, like, oh, we got something done here. So 69, nice, and 70, nice, are, these are, this is 60 and 67. This is 69 and 70, great. So we'll get these on. This is 69 will go on this side, and 70 will go on the other side. Nice. But yeah, I'm excited to play. I haven't really watched a lot of people play any of the new Jackbox, but other than the animated game, which I still don't quite understand how to, like, the process of doing. Like, I still want to, like, watch somebody with, like, maybe their screen and see how they actually make it. But I've seen a little bit of the other games, and so I am excited to get in there and to have some fun with friends in chat. That's always fun. All right, let's get these parts on here. This is basically, what is this? This is fun because it's see-through, so I'm like, go on like that. Yeah, it does just go on like that. Okay. So, and I'm gonna try not to knock these front parts off here, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of glue here. And then place it like that. And then do the same on the other side. I watched the quick look, which was nice of Jan to put his screen on the feed to let people see what it's asked him. Ooh, that's good to know. I have not seen the quick look, so I will check that out. The Giant Bomb quick look of it. Yeah, to see Jan's perspective, that sounds good. I'll probably scrub through that video to see that before Wednesday. That's good to know, and I appreciate that Jan did that because yeah, sometimes it's just like, yeah, this makes sense. Other times you're like, I'm not going to know what they're actually asking me to do until I actually play it. So, all right, so we'll get those on. We're just going to hold them here. We're going to get the front bumper on in a second, and then we'll take our pause for the cause because we are so close to getting this front fender. We got to get the back fender on, and then we got to put the sides on there. We're getting close to being done with this kit. We might do some panel lining or oh no, I think we're gonna wrap. I think what's gonna happen is on Monday I'm gonna do the pumpkin carving, and if there's time, I might finish up the car. But I actually don't think we're gonna finish tonight. When I look at how much is left to do, because I forgot about all the stuff on the back of the car. I actually don't think we're gonna wrap this up tonight. I was like, oh, we might. Oh wait, no. I love that it was like, hey, we might just no. That's not actually accurate. So we'll put this like that, and then this needs cement to go in the front here. We're going to start by doing holes here. Get some liquid cement there, and then we'll pop this open here. And we're going to hit this all around here. Also, yeah, that, put it like that. And if we have to put more on, we'll put more on, but I think we'll be okay. And also, very important too, put it on the right way. It's so important when you are doing this to do it correctly. All right. So now I'm just going to hold this. Oh, Lower Cratchington wants me to ring the bell, and Dirty wants me to ring the bell. Give me a second, because I can only do it one-handed here while I try to let this dry. Let's get this bell going. And then the bell has been rung. All right. I'm going to let this, because yeah. I'm going to let this dry, cure, while we take our pause for the cause, and then we'll do what happened just here. Harold is raiding with a party of one. Harold, thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here, my friend. Welcome to it. You're just in time for me to do my pause for the cause and, promote my shit. But welcome. Happy to have you here, my friend. Hey, everybody. If you're currently a subscriber, let's see the Bear Cave and the Lego emote in the chat. If you're tier 2, you can throw the Scythe emote. let the people know this is an easy way to support what I'm doing. I'm going to take the next couple of minutes to talk about ways you can support the channel. All of this is optional. None of this is stuff you feel you should ever feel like you have to do. If you subscribed in the past and you can't do it anymore, that's okay. If you were gifted a sub and you know you are going to let that subscription lapse and you are not going to renew it yourself, that's okay. If you cheered in the past or you bought something off my wish list in the past and you're like, that's a one-time deal, Pat. I used to be a Patreon member, but I can't anymore. I understand. If you've never done anything, but you've just watched the streams and you've had a good time here, thank you very much for that. But there are ways to support what I do, and I'm going to talk about those ways briefly. $5 a month here, your Prime Gaming token if you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, or if you just want to spend cash money. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that to a regular subscription, and they won't charge you until your gift sub has ended. You get the full month. You can also gift a sub. Our gift sub leaderboard right now is Aristofan with 11 gift subs, which is ridiculous and great. Thank you, Aristofan. And our cheering bits and coins, always appreciated right now. Bald Ridge with 69, nice. That is the top of that leaderboard. But yeah, those are ways to support via Twitch. Also, I have a Patreon, as I mentioned. There's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look at it. It's pretty okay. That's another way to support what I do. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/PatBear, that is free, obviously. But if you want to join, that's $2 a month, and you can do that on youtube.com/PatBear. If you're watching this on YouTube, what's up? You can find all the links that I'm mentioning here in the show description of the YouTube archive of this video. Harold just shared 169 bits. Thank you, Harold, for that. Appreciate that. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site emote in there in the chat as well. Harold, thank you for the bits. Always appreciated, my friend. But yeah, YouTube, easy way to support me, and this is another option. Also, direct donations can come in if you want to do a one-time donation, like a one-off. If monthly is not your thing, or repeating is not your thing, you can do one-offs through Ko-fi or Streamlabs or PayPal. And everything I make through direct donations, through AdSense and memberships on YouTube, through Patreon, through Twitch, goes into buying model kits. I just purchased another, I got a Lego set that just arrived, and I have another high grade in the mail, a big, bulky high grade that I'm looking forward to putting together. And yeah, always happy to build something. So that money comes from this. You help support by your, support monthly or your one-time donations. I buy model kits to keep building model kits. Because model kits are expensive and they're just going up in price. I have an Amazon wish list. If you would like to see me build something that you purchased, the next kit I'm building on stream will be a kit that was purchased. The Destiny Gundam came from my Amazon wish list. What I build after that, well, you could buy something and it would come in the mail and I would build it next. I have Lego sets, some inexpensive, some more expensive. I have high grades on there, master grades, really inexpensive kits, very expensive kits. It ranges, it changes. Sometimes they are inexpensive, sometimes they're very expensive. I have some tools at the bottom of it in case you were like, I want to help out with a one-time purchase, but like I don't know what to buy. You can, just get whatever you want. I should say the kit that I just bought on Amazon has everything I love in model kits. It has big, bulky, unnecessary weapons. It's got a color scheme that seems weird and shouldn't exist, and it's got extra arms, which is hard to find in a mobile suit, but I love very much. It's an Iron Blood Orphan kit that I haven't built yet, so I was excited to pick that up. I just picked that up off my Amazon wish list with money that came from my Twitch subscriptions, because I got that payout the other day, and I was like, this is something I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy this high grade. Anyway, to continue, my Amazon wish list, easy way. You buy something from there, it comes to me in the mail. You can include a note. You can keep it anonymous. I will build it on stream. And I will shoot a video about that kit. Like I'll do a little mailbag video. The alternative is USA Gundam Store. If you want to buy a gift card there, you buy a gift card, they send you a code in your email. You then send me that code for a DM on Twitter or a whisper here on Twitch. And it works just the same. I'll shoot a video just like I would. It jumps the queue because I have a backlog of, right now my backlog is like 4 high grades and a Lego set. So I got a little bit of a cool little backlog now, which I did not have for a while there. When I finished that Strike Noir, I was like, oh, I am almost out of kits, and I am not right now, which is great. Other things I want to share with you. I have a Discord. If you want to spend $0 to support me, you can join my Discord. We'll get back to building in a moment here. I'm going to share some links. Pat Bear's Anime Club. Every other Monday, I put a new video out of Pat Bear's Anime Club. This last one was me talking about dubs that I like. I like some anime dubs. I don't like a lot of them, but I like some of them. And then the Best of Build With Baer is an ongoing series where I just take a clip from something that happened on one of my streams, and I bake in some captions for it, throw it up on social media and YouTube, and you can enjoy that. This last one was meeting Gentleman Arthur in Pokemon Fire Red and being like, the first person I've ever seen, the first like NPC I've ever seen who's actually mad that you just wandered into their place. And so it was my appreciation of Gentleman Arthur being real and being earnestly annoyed with us. And I was like, yeah, Gentleman Arthur knows what's up. Gentleman Arthur gets it. All right, I'm going to drink a little water. We're going to talk about some anime. Then we'll talk about some manga. As I said, I only watched one show right now, and we'll get back into working on this kit here. So I'll talk to you about, after I finish this drink, the Faraway Paladin. So, Faraway Paladin, we had episode 2. This is an isekai, but we only have the vagueness. Our character doesn't remember like his first name there. He doesn't remember a lot about his world. He does remember that he was always oppressed and he wasn't happy. He was definitely pressured and downtrodden, and he doesn't have happy memories of that part of his life. So we know that. Will is a young boy here. Right now he is 13. We met him when he was way younger than that, so he aged up. He lives in this dead city, or this like temple near a dead city, and he is raised by 3 undead people. He does not know how they all became undead. He knows that. Well, he knows like that they each reached out to the god of the undead, or the god of dead who made them undead, but he does not know their particular circumstances of what led to that. And he doesn't know like why they chose to raise him. So he is raised by a skeleton warrior named Blood, a mummy priestess named Mary, and a ghost, like a specter ghost of a wizard named Gus. These names are fantastic. Wizard Gus is just like a fun name for. It's just a fun name for a wizard. That his name is Gus. I enjoy that very much. I've never read this manga. I'll probably read I'm going to read the manga after the anime is over because I really like the vibes of this particular show. So I'm getting the sense that like I don't want to get spoiled by things. Like I know from the opening animation and the closing animation there are other characters we haven't met yet. Like I'm aware there are other characters, but I don't know when we're going to meet them. And I know that Will is going to travel, but he doesn't start in this episode. Is it going to be next episode? Is it going to be halfway through the season? I don't know. Anyway, they also don't know that he's a reincarnation. Or if they do know, they haven't told him that they know. So maybe they do know, because that's why he's like a genius, is because he's like older than he appears. All right, so 125 and 126, we're going to do the chrome element, and then we're going to do the side mirrors. But let's do the chrome, because we have to scrape off some of the plating of the chrome before we put it on. Which makes sense that we have to do that and remove the nubbin. Anyway, this episode was cool. Gus explaining about like just the idea that like there are evil gods and there are good gods, but maybe there aren't. Maybe they're evil because of who worships them and who doesn't worship them. But maybe that's not a thing, to mention. Each of them, uh, each of these specters, they used to pray to a different god, um, and eventually we find out that on his 15th birthday, that is when, which is coming up, our boy Will is going to he is going to have to make a vow to choose the god that he's going to worship and make a vow to that god, like an oath, and then he'll receive a blessing. We don't know which god he's going to do that to, because each of them worships a different god, so we don't know. Let's see. His for the first time he leaves the sanctuary. This is Will. Will and Blood go to the undead city, and Will has to fight some monsters, some undead specters and stuff. He while doing that, he finds a very strong spear that has magic infused in it. And I'll tell you now what the magic infused in it is, because we find out later it's infused with some words so that the spear can light up with light magic, so you can see in the dark areas, and the which is cool, and the staff part of the spear can increase and decrease in size, which is very convenient for traveling. So it's a very convenient. Apparently was made by dwarves. So he's got himself a cool spear, and he's practicing to use that spear because he learned with a sword. So here's the thing: he's doing good with these undead monsters. He's not doing good when fucking Gus shows up to fight him and maybe murder him. Gus makes it seem like it was like training, and they don't mention it, but Will is like, I have no idea why that just happened, but it really felt like either Gus was trying to kill me or wanted me to kill him. And I don't know why that happened. Like, he does not know why that shit just happened. It was weird, and he's bothered by it. Later, there is a moment where Gus asks him, hey, Blood is going to challenge you one-on-one to a fight, like an actual duel. Can you go easy on him and not let him know that you've thrown it? And he won't say why. And you get this, like, Will, who is an adult, but, has been raised again, like, has, like, I think an honest moment of just being like, honestly, kind of childish moment of being like, look, I don't know why you won't tell me things, but it fucking it's frustrating that you won't tell me things. And I think that is totally reasonable for him to be like, hey, it sucks that I don't know if you don't trust me or what, but yeah, there's some pathos here. We're getting some real moments. It's good. Faraway Paladin, I think, is fantastic. Also, the name of the spear is called Pale Moon, which is just cool. It's just some cool extra shit that the spear is named Pale Moon. Anyway, yeah. I don't know if the next episode is going to be like, hey, he's 15 and he's worshiping this god. Goodbye. But like the basically implication is that once he becomes an adult, he's gonna leave and explore, and then I guess meet these other people. But also, there's this vague sense that like, is something else gonna fucking happen here? Are we getting like, are we gonna get some fucking sad shit in this? Like, I don't feel like this show is gonna be devastating, but I do get the sense that there's gonna be some heartache at the end of this. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be there if he ever comes back. Like, I don't know. But I do think it's beautiful. Oh, there is one little thing where Gus tries to teach Will gambling, and Mary is very fucking... And Blood is psyched about that, and Mary is not pleased that he is into that. And I do like that. But yeah, I think it is really great. And I'm looking forward to learning more about it. I think it is uh, probably my favorite show this season because I do like Banished by the Heroes Party. I think that is a good show, but I think the animation in the second episode took a big dip. And it wasn't like the fight animation that looked good. It was the like facial expressions on Red and Rit, who and that is the core of the of Banished by the Heroes Party is that like this budding love story between these two characters. So like don't have that look bad. That can't look bad. That's got to look great. So let's talk about some manga. I've been reading some manga, and we'll chat about that. Um, when I reincarnated, I was a soldier? Question mark! Exclamation point. Um, okay, we're doing side mirrors here. So let's get these side mirrors. 23, 35. Okay, 23 and 22. Get those out. Hey, this manga. Somebody sent me info on this manga and said, "Hey Pat, they made a manga with the character named Patrick. The rare Patrick in an anime or in a manga. How lovely. This guy is Patrick. He's the third son in like a noble house, and he left to join the army. And then while fighting monsters, he hit his head, and in recovery, he remembered that he is a reincarnation of a Japanese person, but it's not like he is just like, oh, I'm actually this guy. It's the version where he's like, I have my knowledge of Japan and memories of Japan, but I'm still me. I'm still Patrick. So it's just like it's the fusion element. It is similar to uh, Spirit Chronicles from last season, where it's just like Rio was still Rio. It's just he had a Japanese guy's memories. So uh, it's fucking really fast paced. I've only read like 4 chapters. Um, so really it was like the first one was like he's a soldier, he hit his head, he has memories. The second one is just like he's young and he's already moved up in the ranks, and we'll find out that like it, and he was already doing well before he had his memories jog. So he's already a competent soldier. And then the last chapter that I read was just like, okay, the reason he left his family to join the army is because he's a bastard son, and his mother was murdered by his stepmother, and his father let it happen, and because and Will was or Patrick was mistreated because of what that he reminded his stepmother of the fact that her husband was unfaithful and all this, and you're just like, okay, shit, all right. I need 35 and 34. It'd be chrome. These are chrome rear view mirrors. That's kind of neat. Anyway, in the same manga chapter where we find out that Patrick was like mother was killed, was like murdered, and like anything about his family, we also find out that there's rebel factions happening in the country, and apparently his family had sided with the rebels, and then also they got murdered by Patrick. They got bloodily murdered by Patrick, and he fucking got his revenge. Uh, and they were very surprised to find out they were getting murdered by him. But yeah, that, like I said, it was a lot. A lot happened in When I Reincarnated as a Soldier in like very few chapters. If you ever wanted to like action to like pick up in a manga, and your complaint about a manga was like nothing happens and half of a manga chapter is just recapping what happened in the last one, this is the one for you because shit. The pace of it is remarkably fast, like unbelievably, completely like holy shit. Okay, well, oh, and this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Like, oh wow, all right, okay, show. So that's when I reincarnated. I was a soldier. Question mark exclamation point. Um, AKA the anime with the character with my name. Um, and then I'll talk to you about as a result of breaking an Otome game, the villainous young lady becomes a cheat. This is another in the, uh, you know, very, at this point, like kind of standard dating game. Girl wakes up or girl remembers her, has memories, suddenly is like, oh, I'm in a dating game. Uh, and I'm the villainous or I'm the minor character. Very rarely do characters who reincarnate and find themselves in dating games, Ultima games, very rarely are they the heroine of the story. They're usually the villain, or if it's a dude, they are like the person that played the game and decides that they're like, I'm going to support the villain because like she's the character I like in this. It's very rare that they're like, ooh, I'm in a dating game and I'm the main character. Um, Anyway, in this one, girl wakes up in the body of a villainess of a dating game with combined memories. So she's still like, I'm this character, but now I also know that I'm in a game, and that I got the memories that I'm in the game, um, and who I am is a Japanese person. She's got both those things. Um, Also, uh, because she's a reincarnation, she has a lot of magic, which is cool. Um, that she wouldn't have in the game, but because she's a reincarnation, she has it. Here's an interesting twist, which I don't think I've seen before. Her brother is like, "Who are you? Who are you really?" Because he notices the change in her. He notices that like you're not who you were before. Something's different about you. My ability lets me see that. Um, and so he knows that she's a reincarnation, and she's just like, I played this game. Here are the events that are happening. Here's how you die. Here are the tragedies that befall or here's how members of our family die, which turns you into a cold, evil person. Uh, so here are the things we need to do, including that like a dungeon is opening up and we don't know it's there. So now let's clear this dungeon now, so it doesn't in 3 years there isn't a dungeon raid, or not a dungeon raid, but it's like a monster raid out of this dungeon, and then everybody dies because that's what happens. It's like a footnote in this villain character's backstory that this happens, and she's like, we can prevent that because I care about my other siblings. I care about you. Um, and and her main the other side that I didn't mention yet is, okay, so you would say, okay, she wants to survive. She wants to, finish off her death flags. She wants to avoid death flags. She wants to live. That makes sense. All this makes sense. Her real main goal is, uh, I want to improve the liquor in this world because I love a good drink after work, and this world does not have good alcohol. So I'm going to make sure that we get some good alcohol around here. Which I really love that is her main, like her major thing is just like, no. We gotta get good booze in this place. Um, Also, her memories resurfaced because her uncle slipped her a little drink on like when recently, and that caused her to like pass out and jog her memory. Like the taste of alcohol jogged her memory that is the thing she really loved. And that I love. There are a couple twists in this one that set it apart. I'm going to keep reading it, but I think that one in particular, I was like, oh, that's a really funny idea. That she's just like, because there are things there are stories like that in these manga that is like, I got reincarnated in a dating game, but I'm not going to date anybody. Instead, I'm going to learn magic and become an adventurer because that sounds rad. I do like that. I think those are cute. That it's cute when they do that. All right, so I'm gonna put this shield or window wiper here. Yeah, windshield wiper. I was saying a bunch of stuff there that none of which was right. Windshield wipers. That's what I'm doing here. Windshield wipers. Um, the last manga I will chat with you about that I have been perusing and enjoying is called. Oh, let me just get this in right. Sorry, takes a little concentration there. Yeah. Oops. Nope. Get in there. There we go. Let that dry there. The Eminence and Shadow of the Strongest 6-Year-Old Sage. The strongest sage is reincarnated with cheats and is very strong, and his name is Eddie, E-D-Y. Eddie the Sage. Uh, and his basic thing is like, hey, I'm going to try my best to hide my abilities because I was the strongest sage and I was alone and people were scared of me. I have this loving family. I got older brothers that think I'm neat. My parents are like goofy but lovable and like real nice. So forget this. Anyway, when he gets his memories back, he sneaks out of the house. Uh, he sneaks out of the house. He unlocks his magic for the first time, senses that someone's in trouble, finds a princess of a neighboring country who he doesn't know. She's traveling there because she got a prophecy that the saint will awaken, and so she needs to go find the new saint, which is him. But he doesn't know that that's why she's there. Anyway, so he's like, saves her life. Then he comes back, and the Demon Lord has been resurrected. There's a new Demon Lord, and the Demon Lord tried to do the smart thing of, hey, I'm not going to let the sage grow up. I'm going to go find the sage right now. So the Demon Lord showed up to kill Eddie, but Eddie is still, Eddie's like, you're a day too late. And then Eddie kills the Demon Lord. And his parents are just like, what just happened? And Eddie has to be like, he tries to be like, I guess the Demon Lord was weak. He must not have gotten stronger. I somehow can use magic, which they don't fully buy, but they buy enough that they're Eddie is a genius and cool. And his brothers are like, you protected us. That's neat. And it's nice because he's got like a little loving family, and he gets the opportunities uh, to be with them, which is fun. It is like a very cute little show, or a little manga. Uh, the princess, like, he ends up like, he's like, I don't want to become the savior of this country. I'll help you out when I'm not in school, which is kind of funny. He's like, yeah, I'll give you a hand, but like school is important. And it's like, okay, but really, it's just like this dude. It's that thing that happens um, in a lot of these style reincarnation isekai style manga. This isn't it is an isekai, um, but it's not like a from Japan. It's like this dude was a sage in another life in another world, similar. Um, but it's the similar thing of, I want to take it easy in this life, but I have all this power, and I'm not a I'm not gonna like not help people. So it ends up being that kind of anime or sorry, manga, where it's like, yeah, I'm still gonna help people, still gonna do the right thing. You can't not do the right thing. So pretty good. I would describe that it as pretty all right. And that's the manga I have been reading. Coming up in my manga viewing, let me check my manga list, see what else I've checked out a few things. I usually don't talk about everything I'm reading. Um, I got a couple things to check out. Um, Boundary Labyrinth and the Foreign Magician is kind of pretty okay. Uh, Oh, I talked about that already. I did. I talked about that already. Beast Tamer was fired from his childhood friend's S-rank party. Some updates of that came out because I had read like the first chapter of that, and then there weren't any updates, and then those just came out, and that's pretty actually neat. Beast Tamer was fired from his childhood friend's S-rank party. What happens if you're a Beast Tamer and there aren't a lot of magic beasts for you to find, and then you get the chance to find some magic beasts? Well, now you're going to be cool. And then oh yeah, the reincarnated sword saint wants to take it easy is exactly what I was just talking about. You know, he's just like, in this next life, I'm going to take it easy. Well, his taking it easy is he's a knight, and then he has to protect the next quote unquote sword saint. Uh, and then yeah, maybe I'll talk about the abandoned hero is going home, which is the abandoned hero is going home. Is interesting because it's like two people get summoned, and one of them is handsome. So the princess is like, "That's the hero. You can get out of here, dude." The guy that she rejected, he's actually the hero. Because of course he is. Uh, that's one of those like, no duh, lady. Come on. Haven't you read these kind of stories? Um, thought the Eminence and Shadow was going to be a different manga with that title. There's another one called the Eminence of Shadow. Yeah, yeah. This is a different one than that one. Yeah, I believe there's two different Eminence and Shadows, and I think I've talked about the other Eminence and Shadow before. All right, so we're almost we are almost done with this kit, with the exception of doing. So let's try to get the back bumpers done in the next 20 minutes or 10 minutes. Let's try to get those done, so we can wrap this up. But if we don't, because I'll do panel lining at some point in the future. So that is coming. So 74. But yeah, I got to do the back lights on here, and then we'll be done. And then then we'll do panel lining and uh, uh, um, water slide decals at another time. But yeah, let's try to get this body complete. The one is Eighth Grade Syndrome, the manga. Yes, yeah. That's the one. That Eminence of Shadow, I believe, is the one that's like, some people want to be heroes, some people want to be villains, some people want to work behind the scenes in the shadows, and that's the anime. I believe that's that one. It's one of those ones that like I don't actually think I ever read. I just every time I read the description, I was like, guh, guh. All right, so now's the part of the stream where I ask y'all what you watching, what you doing, what you hanging out, what are you playing. I've been playing. I tried to get into Mercenaries, which is a play mode and the new play mode in Hearthstone, and I don't like it. And it broke some stuff in regular Hearthstone, which is weird. But yeah, I have given up on that because I don't really like the PvE, and I don't like the PvP elements of it, and it feels like it was a thing that like, for it to be fun, I would have to spend a lot of money, which I don't want to do. So yeah, I think I'm done with that and just going back to playing Standard and Wild, which I think is fine to do because I do like both those styles. Um, but yeah, there's been some issues, some bugs in Hearthstone because of this mode, which is weird that it affected other things somehow. But yeah, let me know what you guys are watching, playing. Um, let's see if there's anything. There was a pretty interesting, in my opinion. There is a. Sorry, let me just look at this. Okay, yeah. There's a podcast I listen to called "We Got This," which is kind of like a debate thing, but generally they have guests. It's basically like they answer the question like, what's the worst or what's the best? And they give definitive answers to things that are not, definitive. And it's podcasts I enjoy. this latest episode was the best Spielberg movie, and I actually like. I'm not going to say what they came up with, but they have criteria and they talk about their favorites and their biases and all that. Um, and the thing is, it was interesting to me, and I tweeted about this. Was interesting to me was I think they actually chose the best movie directed by Steven Spielberg, not the best Spielberg movie. Um, because to me, that's a different thing. Like, and there have been different eras of Spielberg, but like, to me, the best Spielberg movie is like a summer blockbuster, because that's what he helped invent and popularize, was the blockbuster. Like, to me, that is the best Spielberg movie. And then like the best movie directed by Spielberg could be a dramatic, thing, but like best Spielberg movie could be a Raiders of the Lost Ark, or The Last Crusade could be the best Spielberg movie. But the best movie directed by Spielberg could be like a beautiful drama. Um, like so that's the thing I've been thinking about. I'm like thinking about like, yeah, I don't know if they actually answered that thing right. I think they like solved a different problem, which is interesting to me anyway. I don't know. I don't know if I'm quite describing my thought process there correctly, but that's kind of what I came to. Um, Looking for 60 and 61 is these ones here. Okay. Started The Good Life, which is Swery's new game. Seemed good and weird so far. Yeah. Yeah. Lord Crafton, yeah, I never ended up playing that because somebody worked on that game who really hurt a lot of people that I care about. And I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Like, it's one of those like legally shouldn't get into it, but yeah, there's somebody who worked on that game that is a garbage person. In my personal opinion, is a garbage person, and so I never end up playing it because of that. But I'm not telling you that you should or shouldn't play the game. Just letting you know why I didn't play it, because I was like, nope, not going to do it. Again, that is not a value judgment on you playing that game. But I have heard it's good and weird. So yeah. Just like didn't play Swery's game before that for the same reason. Because somebody who I think is real garbage worked on it. And so I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Bobby, hey Bobby, says I've gotten the chance to play the new Jackbox pack a few times already. It's really good. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. We're going to be playing that on Wednesday, which I've mentioned. So I am very excited to have the opportunity to play with y'all. Yeah, and I'm going to watch the Giant Bomb Quick Look to get a sense of what's happening in it before we do that. Also, a reminder as we get close to wrapping this up here, because I got one little piece to put on here, and then we're going to have to glue these on the back here. Monday stream. We'll pause this kit because we are pretty much done here. We'll pause this kit, and on Monday, I am going to be carving a pumpkin. It is my Halloween, seasonal pumpkin carving stream. I've done this several years in a row. The plan is this year is the first year and the first time I'm going to try to use a stencil in my build. I have no idea how that's going to go because I've never done that before. I've never attempted it before. So I am going to make that attempt on stream. I'm going to print out my stencils tomorrow and see if it works. If it doesn't work, I won't do it. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just make a face and have a silly time and it'll be fine. But I am going to give it a go and try because I think that'll be fun. So that's the goal. Getting a little fancy. Why not? I think it could be neat. One of the ones I have to test and see if I want to do it is very themed for for this stream. The other one is just a fun one that's like a nerdy fun thing that could be cool. Harold says, I played Jackbox earlier over at my sister's place with the family. We all liked it. We all like it. Good. I'm glad. Yeah. I had seen a preview of the animation one, and then I saw a little bit of the wheel one, but not enough to make a value judgment. All right. We are going to body complete this kit before we wrap up tonight. Which I have to do. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. And then a little bit of glue here. A little bit of here. All right. And then this is one of those things where like it doesn't quite, it's on purpose, doesn't fit over, and you have to stretch a little bit, which is I hate and is so nerve-wracking. But like it doesn't quite fit right. You have to stretch the body over the parts, and then and then pop it on. And there it is. Oh. Yes, Dirty, you read that differently. And there we go. We are now body complete on our car. We are going to do some panel lining, and we are going to do some, damn it. I got some, I did the thing I didn't want to do. I don't know if you can see it. You can't probably see, you can see that. I did get a little liquid cement here on this, which I did not want to do because this chrome isn't fully on. So I'm going to reapply this part for the chrome piece here, and we'll reapply that, and then we'll reapply that, and then if we have time on Monday when we're done with the pumpkin, if we finish, then we will do some panel lining and such on that. If we don't have time, I'm going to have to do the chrome here again. If we don't have time, then we'll do this on Thursday next week. But either way, we at least got the frame of it done, which is awesome. And then we got some panel lining to do. We got some decals to apply, some water slides. And yeah, this car is built. Panel lining pumpkin. Yes. Yeah, we'll panel line our pumpkin. I mean, hey, the stencil kind of left that. I mean, not really. It's not really at all, but kind of. But yeah, that's our car. That's the AE86. I'm fucking psyched. Did I do these right? Can I lift these? No, I can't lift these up right, which is fine. Yeah, can't lift those up right, which is fine. All right, we're gonna raid. That's what we do at the end of every stream. We go on a raid. We send some love out there to somebody else doing cool shit that we like out here on the old internet. Again, I recommend Monday, pumpkin carving. Don't know exactly what I'm going to end up doing. I have my pumpkin already. I have a couple ideas to do some stenciling. I don't know which one I'm going to go with, but check out that stream. Wednesday, playing the new Jackbox with everybody, so come hang out for that. And then Thursday, if we don't get this on Monday, which I don't know if we will, finishing the car up. And we're going to raid. Who's doing stuff? We actually don't ever really get the chance to raid Arthur. We're going to raid Arthur Geese, who's playing Rift Breaker, the Rift Breaker. So we're going to raid Arthur, which is fun. So we'll do that. Arthur's got his webcam on and it's very dark in where he is. Got some evening lights going. But yeah, let's go give Arthur a raid. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you on Monday for some pumpkin carving. Feel free to come along on this raid. If not, hope to see you soon. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you very, very much. And I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.